Is this a one and done survival implement for under $100? Stick around and I'll let you know. And we're back! Okay, welcome back to 5 Minute Knives, the channel that will always be interested in cool knives for low prices. Today, we're going to talk about one such knife that was sent to me by a company called HX Outdoors, and I did a multi-tool review for them on TikTok, so they went ahead and sent me this knife. They thought I'd like it, so we're going to find out, but it comes in this case. I left the tabs open because they were really tough to get off, so the case is actually pretty nice. Get a little cardboard thing with a QR code here. Go ahead and hit that if you want, and a cleaning cloth, and here's the Knife itself. Let's go ahead and get rid of the box. Okay, let's see what we're looking at. Right off the bat, I can say that this is a decent looking piece. I like the sheath. It's kind of like a hybrid taco style. The finishing's a little rougher on it, but I don't mind that. It's not terrible. And on the outside of this sheath, you get a ferro rod, which I think is pretty cool of them to include that. It's got an interesting little handle here, hang on to. The only thing about this is it doesn't really click into place that well. So you might want to have some sort of way to keep this from falling out. Maybe lash this to an eyelet. But on a whole, very, very cool that they include that. Moving up, we have a decent Kydex sheath with a leather backer here and a snap clasp. Which, you know, the only thing I don't like about that is when you draw the knife, the blade is going to drag along that strap and eventually cut it. So that's the design I've always kind of had beef with. But enough about the sheath. Decent sheath, not bad at all. Now let's take a look at the Knife. Let's drink it in for a minute. Very cool handle, skeletonized handle to cut down on some weight. The hardware you can actually get to, but that too is see-through. So you can take these handle scales off if you were so inclined. Fit and finish pretty solid. I really love this pommel, this hammer pommel. So this is designed for survival use, pounding in your tent stakes, whatever you need there, mashing up stuff. I really like the milling on the back here. The jimping on the back of the blade is very well done, very comfortable, smartly placed, right where the blade ticks up on the spine. We do have a choil here, which works very well, and I think this is pretty neat too. They gave you a section of the spine just for your ferro rod, striking your ferro rod, which I thought was very cool of them. A lot of companies that included ferro rod on a coated blade, you know, don't have a sharpened spine for you to strike it on. So you'd have to use the blade itself, which I hate. Check this out. Compound grind, classic blade shape, deep swedge on the top, showed up very, very sharp. This also has a gray titanium coated blade, which I think is really cool. Actually, it looks really nice. It's sharp. And the steel is DC53 steel. What's the deal with DC53 steel?
DC53 steel. It's pretty cool stuff. It's an air-hardened tool steel, and it's known for being tougher and more wear-resistant than D2, which is already popular for knives. It holds an edge really well and can take a beating without chipping or breaking easily. So if you're working with it or thinking about a knife made from it, you're dealing with some serious durability and performance.
Nice. So yeah, like D2, but a little tougher, I guess. So right now, at least, price is subject to change. Use the link below. You can pick this thing up for $85. In this setup, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. And I do think that this could be a one and done survival implement. It's got some heft to it. I can see why they went with the skeletonized tang, but it feels awesome in the hand, especially in this grip. I don't mind it at all choked up. You could definitely get some work done. Steven Seagal, yes, this would work just fine. Not a big fan of reverse grip, but you could use it. Even pull cuts towards you, very comfortable. This knife has a variety of grips, all rounded off, chamfered nicely in the handle. The handle is very ergonomic and comfortable. Let's go ahead and weigh this thing. And I wouldn't bother with a custom sheath for this. I think the sheath it comes with is very good and serviceable. So there you go. We got almost 8 ounces on this little chunker, less than a 5-inch blade, at least usable portion of the blade. And in the sheath, see like the ferro rod popped out right there. The ferro rod's not in very solid, I'll tell you that. Snaps in nicely. Okay, 11.6 ounces with the sheath. So not the lightest thing on the planet, but I don't think it was designed to be. Considering the hammer pommel, that extra weight would really help you with pounding in your tent stakes and so on. Now, I guess the question is, do I think this knife is worth $85 on Amazon? Yes. Yes, I absolutely do. Actually, would I purchase this knife? Not unless I saw a review endorsing it. You know, I don't think that if I just saw this in a picture, I'd think, oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know, maybe. The design does connect with me. I think the design is really cool. I love that compound grind at the end, and the handle's awesome. Actually, a really, really good knife, in my guesstimation. Very, very comfortable. Really big swoop here for your index finger to go in, which gives you kind of a variety of grips as needed. You can kind of choke up a little bit and get this grip going. You can kind of hang back a little bit. It just feels like you have some options. The handle's fairly thin, but not too thin. It's actually nicely done. Very, very comfortable knife to hold. The fit and finish is very good on this knife as well. Not bad at all. Good job, HX Outdoors. Newer company to me, but and they weren't very pushy, which I appreciated. Takes me a little while to get my videos up. They just asked, hey, what's going on with it? I told them. They said, no problem. Thanks for letting us be part of this collab. And I thought, well, that's nice. Isn't that nice? But yeah, just to kind of show this off a little bit, I mean, this is pretty nice. I know some people are going to want there to be a version with a different steel and so on. Steel is always the debate, but I think this is a solid knife. Now, heat treat notwithstanding, the grinds are symmetrical and well done. The coating feels very, very nice on this. You get a lot of reinforcement out to the tip. This is a stout little knife. Not giant, not tiny. This is a good size knife. This would be an outstanding knife for a young gentleman just getting started. I think this would make a fine gift. This could flex into a hunter's knife for sure. I could see skinning with this with the choil choking up. Absolutely. Camp knife all day camp knife. Tater digging? Yeah, maybe even tater digging. This knife is very versatile, so I like it. I like it a lot. Let's roll in the subscribe starians as we oogle over this knife a little bit more. You guys keep the channel going, which I appreciate. In the future, I'll probably only be making sheaths for subscribe star members, which also enjoy 15% off each sheath order as of right now. In the future, I may amend that when you people are the only ones I'm making sheaths for. I'll just have a set price that's a little bit less. One thing I forgot to mention is you have a standard lanyard hole here. Here's a closer look at that handle. Really nice. I dig this knife a lot, actually. I think this is a sharp little son of a gum. What do you guys think in the comments? Do you know anything about HX Outdoors? They're a newer company for me. Nice retention on that too. I got ever so slight rattle, but not bad. As far as sheaths go, from the factory, this is one of the better ones I've seen. Could use a little tighter retention on the ferro rod, although it's not terrible. It's in there for sure. The snap thing, there's not much you can do about that. It's just a design feature that's been around a trillion years, and I've always kind of hated that. The leather backer is serviceable and nice. Decent sheath. Good job, HX Outdoors. Thanks for sending this one in. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about it. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next time right here on 5 Minute Knives.